Welcome back, Benchwarmers. Football is around the corner, and I'm so dang excited.
Preseason is underway, and while the first real game isn't until September 4th, we thought we'd start talking about it.
Yeah, I literally couldn't wait any longer to get back into the pigskin. So we're going to have like a little mini-series here where we predict how each division will unfold.
Let's get to it. I'm Corey, Titans fan.
I'm Brendan, CJ Stroud stan, and this is Our View from the Bench. Before we get started, if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss any one of the new episodes.
Also, if you could please do us the favor, if you like what you see here, please don't forget to smash that like button.
Smash it for us. Come on. It's free. It's free for you. It's free for us. Helps out the channel a lot more than you probably think.
Hell yeah.
All right, Corey. Well, I mean, you brought it up in the intro. We're hitting your division now. The good old
I feel about it.
the good old AFC South. Well, you should feel a little bit better than some other division that we're going to talk about. Some other teams that we're going to talk about tonight because they're kind of in the dumpster. But yeah, AFC South. Again, if you've missed it already, what we're doing is just basically predicting 4 through 1. This is the order we're going in for each division. We've done the AFC and NFC East. East?
Mm-hmm.
East already. You see those up on the channel. But after this, we're going to do the NFC South. So make sure you check out all of them so you get the full idea of where we're at. But without further ado, since it's your division, my friend, let's have you start. Again, what we're basically going to do is like 4-4-3-3 up to the top. So who is coming in fourth for the AFC South for you?
You know, as much as I hate the Colts because of the long-standing rivalry, especially with Manning back in the day, I debated Colts and Titans third for fourth, back and forth. But for whatever reason, I just feel like the Titans are going to end up in fourth. Just, Cam Ward's a rookie quarterback. Callahan's in his second year as a head coach, still kind of figuring things out. They didn't look good last year. Obviously, Will Levis was not good, and he's had surgery, so he's out this year. So there's no pressure on Cam Ward. Here's a blank canvas, man. Go out there and paint and see what you can do. So I don't expect a lot of wins. Hopefully 5 if we're lucky. I just expect them to be a lot of learning and, win a couple games, probably not until middle of the year. I would expect they'll probably lose the first 4 or 5. Cam Ward's going to make a lot of mistakes. He's a rookie quarterback. So unless he's Jaden Daniels 2.0 from last year in Washington, I anticipate the Titans, unfortunately, to be at the bottom. But I think in the long run, it could be good because, again, Cam Ward, there's no expectations. Go out and just learn, get better with Calvin Ridley. If we get another top 5 pick next year, we can add another weapon, if not an offensive lineman, to protect Cam Ward for the future. So long term, I think the Titans are in a good spot. Short term this year, it's going to be a long, shitty year. So unfortunately, fourth place it is.
I vehemently disagree with you, actually.
Wow.
My fourth place team is those Indianapolis Colts that you've talked about. Basically, the reason why I think they have a better, maybe overall roster than you guys, but the most important position in football, obviously, it's mentioned everywhere. You mentioned it yourself, is quarterback. And they've got basically Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. So, and the reason why I'm doubting it is a little bit more because I don't see where it's progressing. I mean that in the sense of Shane Steichen's been there for a year or 2 now, maybe.
I think 2 already. This might be his third
already, right? And if he was going to do anything with Anthony Richardson, I feel like he would have done it already.
Yeah, but also, remember the whole Anthony Richardson played that game and then he got tired and took himself out and then he got hurt.
So now you trusted him? He's not tired this year?
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Okay,
if you're the coach, you have to put some kind of confidence in your quarterback, whether it's real or fake for the media part of it, I guess.
It's not happening. So I don't think Anthony Richardson's it. If Shane Steichen was going to do anything with it, because a lot of people thought he was like this savant after what he did in Philly, then he was going to. I think he would have done it already, regardless of if he's tired or not. So basically that kind of leaves it up to Danny Dimes, and we saw how that played out in New York with somebody else that a lot of people respect, and Brian Daboll. Especially on the offensive quarterback guru side and what he was able to do and help Josh Allen with. So I just don't think this team is it. They have a decent amount of playmakers around them. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor's probably one of the best backs in the league. Michael Pittman Jr. is a really, really good receiver out there. But if Danny Dimes couldn't drop it to freaking Malik Neighbors, et cetera, I don't know what he's going to be able to do over here on this newer team. So I just kind of have them competing with you guys. It may be a game or so. They may be even tied for the same record. And I'm saying the Colts lose a head-to-head more or more division games or something like that. So it could be close. I think it is, kind of between the Colts and the Titans towards the bottom. But I'm going with the Colts. I think we're going to have a surprise with the Tennessee Titans this year.
Okay, I mean, I hope you're right. I want the Titans to surprise everybody this year and do more than what I'm expecting. I don't want to get my expectations too high with a rookie quarterback and again a young coach at the same time. So
Well, we'll get into the Titans. I'll get into it a little bit more since you've kind of touched on it a little bit. So, who is your third then? I'm assuming we're swapping those.
yeah, we are. We're swapping Colts, and a lot of it is what you said. Danny Dimes and
They have
Richardson.
more experience. I'll give it to you.
Yes, absolutely. And the saying in the NFL is you have more than one quarterback, then you don't have a good quarterback because you don't know who to play, and it's a
hmm
battle. So
And they have no worry. Real quick side note: they don't have any of that worry in Tennessee because Will Levis is out.
yeah, absolutely. There's again Mason Rudolph, I think, is the backup for Ward. So there's just a veteran there to help you. But when the Colts, I don't know, I just feel like the defense is pretty solid on
True.
that side of the ball. And as
True.
you mentioned, Jonathan Taylor, there's a good weapon or two on the offensive side. So even if Daniel, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Giants we talked about in the previous episode for the NFC East. Like you have two quarterbacks that are kind of veteran. One's a little younger, but a little more like, willing to take a shot down the field. Daniel Jones compared to Jameis Winston. Not that they're the same caliber of quarterback. I'm just
No,
saying
Jameis a little better.
philosophy way of playing compared to Russell Wilson and with Richardson. It's a little different, more of a mobile quarterback, different way of playing the game. But again, much younger and less experienced. But for some reason, I feel like Daniel Jones is going to be able to play a few games and get them like 3 or 4 wins. Now, they might start Richardson early because they think he's the future and they're going to give, I
Right.
mean, he was
You
the
got
number
to give him
4
a
overall
chance.
pick. You got to give him a
Exactly.
shot. So they're
Exactly.
going to, but if after 4 or 5 games we're in the same boat and, Steichen is coaching for his life at that point, he's going to have to take a change. And I feel like that might give them a couple weeks where they win 2 out of 3 or 4 games. And all of a sudden they get, they're at 4 or 5 total for near the end. And then they just somehow are better than Titans just because I think the Titans are only going to win 4 games if we're lucky. And like you said, it might come down to Titans and Colts both have 5. They beat each other once. One has a worse record division, and then that's how they, figure out who's worse as far as 3rd and 4th place. But they're going to be battling at the bottom. It's going to be a lot of blue and white battling at the bottom of the division.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I can see that. I have it switched. Like I said, it may not be games up on the Colts, but I do think the Titans are going to have a little bit better season than people are thinking. I do believe in Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward is him. I think the fact that and this isn't a knock on Shador, this is a knock on media. I think the fact that the media completely moved on from Cam Ward being the number 1 overall pick just to figure out where Shador was going to be picked was really annoying, one, and a little bit disrespectful. Not that Cam Ward even cares, because
No,
Cam Ward
that's
does
the best
not.
part.
Cam Ward seems so focused on the season. He seems honest and real. Like when he talked about how he thinks that there's a bunch of average people here that we all need to get better, including himself. So I think that he's just more real and trying to dive into it, not trying to give any of the fluff or anything like that. I just really like the way he moves, the way he carries himself, and I think he's extremely talented. I watched him obviously at Miami, and he was really, really good. The team wasn't that great. That's why I didn't make it that far, in my opinion. But he was carrying it, and from what I saw,
Yeah.
the other thing that I think is because kind of like we were talking about with the coach, I get that he's his second year, or really even fresh into that, but him and his father are really known for one really good thing, and that's linemen. Right.
Yep.
And what does a rookie need more than protection? So if they
Exactly.
can figure out a way to give Cam Ward time, the time that he needs to adjust to the NFL speed, I think that he'll be able to kind of dot the field how he needs to. You guys have Tyjae Spears still and Pollard, or
Although
do
I think he might have gotten a high ankle sprain this weekend in a game, so I don't know how long he's going to be out. But yeah, they
okay.
do have him. They brought in, I can't remember the kid's name, but they brought in a wide receiver from Miami that he played with last year in college. We do have
Okay.
Calvin Ridley, so like there is some
There's someone to
potential
throw
there on
to.
the offense. They just
That's what
like
I'm
you said,
saying.
they've got to protect him in the line, and Callahan and his dad, as you mentioned, also are
I'm kind of
big
known
into
for that.
building an offensive line. So hopefully that's
Exactly.
the case. I'm just don't want to get to the point of like we're going from last to first. Like that's just not the expectation
No.
that they're
But
already
I
having.
think from last to third.
Take it. I'll take it. It's an improvement, step by
Yeah.
step.
Yeah. I think for those couple reasons, Cam being him, and the fact that they are a team focused on the line, at least the offensive coordinator, I'm sorry, the head coach and the line coach are like really, really known for that. I think that gives Cam the possibility to kind of bring the Titans up from the cellar of the AFC South. So
Yeah, it does help the division's not very good, so anything could happen,
true.
but I'm
Very
not
true.
expecting a lot.
Yeah, that you know what? Yeah, we can't lie there. It's not necessarily the best division for sure. But then moving on, then I think we're kind of at the same. We're same here from here on out. So tell me who you've got coming in second. Then
Yeah, just a guy. I got the Jags coming in at second. I think Trevor Lawrence, this is kind of the last shot. Not that he doesn't have another year on the contract, but I feel like this is their last shot of like, okay, we've given you whatever weapons we can. We've tried different coaches and coordinators. This is it. I think it helps that it's the same coaching staff from last year. Oh wait, no, it's Duval. It's a new guy from Tampa.
hmm
Duval. okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, again, the AFC
But
South
he helped
sucks
Baker kind of blow up.
a little bit. He did. So that's why, and I think Lawrence is like, it's put up or shut up time. So if you're
Yeah.
Trevor, you got to come out this year and have a good year. And
Dude, he
even
looks
if they don't
so
make the
good in
playoffs, you've got to
college.
get over 500 and show the franchise that we are going in the right direction. Otherwise, they could be in the same boat where we need to tear it down and start all over, which is fine because that means the Titans would hopefully be better than them this year and improving. But
Yep.
one thing at a time. But yeah, Jags, just another guy. Just kind of how this team works at this point. So we'll see what happens. What do you, as you mentioned, we have them at the same at this point, but what are your reasonings behind it?
Yeah, I think that they have the second best roster in the division. I think they're really heavy on offense, but that's the part that I think they struggle with the most, which is odd. I think Travis Hunter is going to be electric.
True.
I don't know how much he's going to be playing. I think he's going to play most of his time. Hey, as long as he plays like the key plays on offense, he doesn't need to play 1st and 10 from the 25. Maybe he
Yeah.
doesn't need to play that. But third downs, any fourth downs, key second downs, key placements, going for yardage, I think he's going to be there. I think he's going to be really, really good. You already have Brian Thomas Jr., who could have been taken before Malik Neighbors. That's how good he was at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
So he was electric last year too with whoever was quarterback because Trevor Lawrence got hurt and he was still going off.
Yeah, true.
It was Mac Jones who,
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones who, yeah. So I think he'll be able to put on a show, but I think that Travis Hunter is going to be the highlight of the season. Unfortunately, I just really don't understand how Trevor Lawrence fell so from carrying Clemson to beating Alabama teams to struggling to get out of the AFC South.
Well,
I
I'll give him a
get
little
it.
bit of break. That first year he was in the NFL, he had Urban Meyer and that whole debacle that blew
That's
up.
rough.
And then he had another coach the next year, which was Peterson, which was better, but that didn't seem to work. And now here we are with his third coach, and I don't even know how many coordinators. So I'll give a little bit of a break to him. That hasn't been the most steady thing, which again, it's Jacksonville. It's usually how it works.
Jalen
But
Hurts has
also,
had 4 different
you would
offensive
think he would
coordinators.
improve over the years and get a little bit better. But
That's what I'm saying. Like it'd be one thing for like if he was doing what Joe Burrow did, right? He's having crazy offensive numbers, but the team is just like not great. But he's not doing that. He's not. He's getting paid like he's doing that. He got a fat contract like he's doing that.
Yeah,
but he's not really actually playing like that. So I think that they have now. Granted, they may only be back a game or two because I think that this, like you said, this is a year they really need to get stuff going, and perhaps the new head coach, like I said, who helped Baker do pretty well, can help him. But I just don't think they've got enough to do it. I think the Texans are the cream of the crop of the AFC South.
Yep, and that leads us right to first place. We both, as you said, have it the same. Texans at the top. This is as we mentioned earlier, this is an division. There's nobody really that's earth-shattering that we think is going to win a Super Bowl or even really has an opportunity to. But the Texans are at the top. They've won it the last 2 years with C.J. Stroud, and last year he had a worse year than he did his previous year, and they still were able to figure out. As we mentioned, there's just none of these teams are really great. I think even the Texans could win this division with just 9 wins. It could be that.
If they get 10, that'd be surprising.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if you look at it, if they win 9, 4 of those wins could come against the 3 of these teams in the division who are not very good. So it doesn't say a lot about the Texans. D'Amico Ryans and them are building something nice down there, but it's just nothing that's gonna. Nobody's writing to the NFL saying, "Oh, the Texans should be in the top 3 favorites to win the whole thing." Like, they're just an NFL team. They might be Jags as well, just another guy, but unfortunately they're going to win a division and nobody else is in the South.
The only thing they can hope for is maybe win the division and play the Chargers round 1. No offense to Charger fans or Jim Harbaugh, kind of rooting for you, but it is what it is.
Kind of what they do.
But I'm with you. The one kind of caveat that I have for the Texans is C.J. Stroud was kind of on his butt a lot last year or running for his life. They did improve the off. Oh, no, that's right. They traded away their best offensive lineman in Laramie Tunsil. That's kind of the way that the only concern that I have is how is this offensive line going to protect him? That's what he needs is a little bit of time. They also don't have necessarily the best receiving core per se. They lost Diggs. Now, granted, they lost Diggs last season and we're fine. But Tank Dell being out pretty much the entire season is not going to be that great. No. But Nico Collins is a stud, a true wide receiver 1. And I think C.J. Stroud is talented enough to make anybody else that can be in that lineup.
Joe Mixon down there?
Yes.
Okay, so they got a few little things on offense.
Exactly. So I don't think they're going to be the worst, but I guess we will we'll see from there. So I think the main thing is that I don't believe in the Jags, so I have to believe in the Texans. Is kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, again, the whole division really, there's nothing to believe in a lot beyond somebody has to win this division, so we have to pick 1 through 4. But beyond that, I don't expect anybody, whoever does it ultimately win this division, make any kind of noise in the playoffs or again make a run to the Super Bowl. That would be the shock of all shocks, I think.
No, and I do think D'Amico Ryans is a really, really good head coach. Yeah. What he proved in year one, that defense is really, really good. So I think that they'll be, as long as they could score 21 a game, they should be able to win, like you said, maybe 9 or 10 games. So I think the defense is going to be a pretty strong point for an already good defensive team. But yeah,
in a very weak ass division. So
agree. Well, let us know down in the comments below who you've got winning the AFC South.
Or hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at RVUFTB and tell us why the Titans are going to shock the world and win the AFC South.
Okay, I mean, relax. I think they're going to be better, but chill. Now, I appreciate everybody stopping by. Thank you as always for seeing these from RV from the bench. I'm Brendan.
I'm Corey. Like we always say, enjoy the sports until we talk again.
Peace.
This was a Sycamore Fourth Studios production.